Actually, okay.
Amit, use the cake example.
We can use the cake example, or we can use the car example also. Okay, so let's take one example from the car itself. There are four cars. Okay, having same size, having same company, and having same everything is same. Okay. What is different in every car? The plate numbers, their part numbers, and other things. Okay, so that unique thing which define the whole structure and whole object, not whole object, whole body. That's called object. Is it clear to Rajesh?
Does it mean that the unique number or the car number is something like an
Actually, normally one thing or more than one thing which define the whole data and whole thing of that particular body. Okay,
that is
and
called object oriented?
yeah, that object, that's called object, not object only, that object.
Which is that actually? The unique number for each one is called as an object, or the common name which is given is named as object?
No, not a common name, only the unique thing, the number. You can
For an
use
example, in
if
a
the
class
car,
of students,
yeah,
each and every student is given with a registration number, isn't it?
yeah,
A unique number.
yeah,
So you mean to say that unique number is an object
yeah. You can use as a object.
to
Is
call
a
for that particular guy, that
yeah,
particular student?
yeah. Because somewhere the students have same name also.
So in the common name of class, students are objects, and each and every object or a student is called with this unique number. That's it.
Yeah, that like a primary key. You are listen. I think you know about the primary key. Like same, the object is like if like car one having this name number, and this car belongs to Rajesh. Car two is
Okay.
belong to Keshav. Car three is three is belong to Jagati, and car four is belong to me. If
Okay.
car number third is giving having stolen by someone, so when the police and the other person is finding that car,
Okay.
so how they can check this car is belonging to this person or this car is belonging to that one? They directly check the that normally number. Okay, after the number you can check the model number, you can check the color, you can check the engine things, that unique thing
So
which helps you to expect that this body is belonging to this one, or this body is belonging to this part, or some data which you want from the whole body is belonging to this person. That thing is called object.
okay.
Have you got this one, or
Sorry.
have you got this one?
Yeah, yeah. Up to certain level. Actually, I think so. Then when we get into the programming, then I can try to understand it better.
Yeah, in the 30 part you, I think you got this one. Okay, Keshav, do one thing, made a list and perform the object. Using the object you can call the whole things. Yeah, a is equal to, no, come to the in demo, come to demo. Okay, copy this one and remove. Yeah, a is equal to define one list. Yeah, with not empty list, give some data like 1 2 3 4, yeah, something. And now after this, do one thing, make one more variable b is equal to a, made a rectangle bracket and give the index number 1, and now print the value of b. Okay, you will got the m2. Okay, Rajesh, in a there's like body, whole body, this is a whole body, collection of body, and in another variable we define with the normal particular index of that variable, and then save in the data in the one variable. That means now if I will use b dot a, that means b is a object of a, which extract the function from the body of a.
So in the whole class of A, which is having a lot of models, like I mean, lot of objects, M1, M2, M3,
Yeah.
I'm calling from B the address of A.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you can do one thing more. You can use the count the len function and run that whole thing in the body of loop. And now a is defined as the object because a is giving the whole data with the indexing number of a bigger body.
Your
A,
voice is not
right?
clear.
Keshav, can you explain this one? Let me check my internet.
Okay, so Rajesh,
Yeah.
over here, we can see that A is a list. Okay, so
Okay.
let's take A as a like a big
Group of input. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh.
hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah. Now you're.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that since C A is a like big thing. Okay,
Okay.
and when we take B, okay, B is a small part of A because you are
Okay.
assigning A as a small part. So we say that object is this. B is the object of A.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
now you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, that's clear now. So it is like that's what I was saying actually. So when
Okay.
you call A as a group of things, from B we are inheriting A. We are just pulling only one of its
Values.
data
Yeah.
values.
At,
That
actually,
that we
when we talk about objects, we call it attributes.
attributes. Okay, that's a technical term might be.
Yeah.
So this by not accessing the complete information, we are just inheriting only the
Some
wanted data.
parts. Yeah, some part of it.
Okay.
We
But
can also inherit the whole data also. It's not that we cannot. We can do, but it will still be an object now of that particular uh, whole like
Body.
still yeah it will be an object of the whole body, right?
yeah.
You can even take the whole like you can even take this particular part, but
Yeah,
still it
just
will
by assigning
remain.
it like A actually, instead of
Yeah.
giving the address like one, if you make it like B is equal to A, that is going to be an assignment, right? That's it.
This will be an assignment, but you remember it is a list, so it will be immutable. Whatever changes we do in B, it will be reflected in A also. But this is not the case when we talk about objects. Whatever changes we do in B will remain in B. It won't be reflected in A. Okay.
Okay.
So we take it as a tuple. If we take it as a tuple, okay, then it
Then
will
it
be
will
fine.
update.
Yeah, then it will not update.
Okay.
Only B will be updated. No A will be updated. Okay, but when you
Okay.
take list, the whole like A will also be updated. So when we talk about class like oops, like about objects, so this is not the case.
Okay.
Uh, Amit, can you take forward?
Thank you, Keshav. I think Rajesh, you are clear with this one object. Okay.
Yeah, got it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, right now object oriented programming, that means you are creating you have a body, you create the whole body, you create one object for the specific things, and you are programming with that body, not that body with the help of objects. Oriented matlab we say that oriented means that normally defining the things. Object defining programming, that means you are defining the whole body with object and clarify with this thing. In the language itself, in C we are using POP, but when it's come to more advanced, we using Java, we using OOP, now in Python also. So Python having five, not basically not five, there are four features which defines OOP's concept. For your knowledge of this thing, we define that in general way we have normally four features, which if you were passed with that four features, that means you are considered as a OP language. So Java is also doing that same, Python is also doing that same. First one is that, not this one, data encapsulation. Second one is data abstraction. Third one is inheritance. Inheritance. And fourth one is polymorphism. So guys, normally first one say that data abstraction. Okay, guys, can you tell me what do you mean by abstraction? Abstraction.
Most. Hello.
Yeah. What do you mean by abstraction, basically? Guys, can anyone tell me? Rajesh, Jagriti, another one, like Sarthak is there or not? Sarthak is not there. Priyanshi is there. Dipti is there. Bhargavi is there. Ajit is there. Manish, Mohammed. Guys, can you tell me what do you mean abstraction in the normal layman language? What do you mean by abstraction?
Something like collecting the data actually.
Okay. Guys, what about others? Can you respond me, guys? Respond me. Okay, so abstractions mean hiding the complexity and show the simplicity. That's also cool. That's a thing. Visibility. What about other? Bhargavi, Ajit, Jagriti. Are you guys listening? Only Rajesh giving answer and normal, yeah. Deliver with quantity rather than idea. Okay. This means, yeah, this is a normal lemon. Yeah, that's a really good, Jagati. Yes, this means main thing, hidden access. Actually, Dipti and everyone, you are telling me the technical word because I want on layman language, the layman language. I think Jagati said right. This means dealing with the quality rather than idea. How we say that? So let's say for example, this one card, and you are you are using the car and open the car and then drive this start driving. You didn't know when you are changing gear what mechanism is going on in the machine. Whole thing is hidden from your eyes, and it will give you the response. It will give you quantity, it will give you quality, it will give you other thing, but you didn't know how you are getting this one. So that mean abstraction. The basic things in the definition of abstraction is you are hiding, you are did not getting the work, how they are using with the work, how you're dealing the work, but you are getting only output which you want. Like if you are taking one machine, you have purchased one machine, you didn't know about the mechanism is going on in the process, and you are giving that input, but you get the output. That's mean the abstraction. Hiding the data from the outermost world, but giving the output and displaying the output to you. Have you got this one? This means data abstraction, basically. Rajesh, about other guys. What about other guys? Yeah, I think everyone said right in technical word. Dipti also got the hidden access and things and backend action. Yeah, that's correct. But defining a thing, a work, which is normally is not defined by the user. Hiding a word, okay, not a backend. Anything which is working in behind. Okay, so come to the point of encapsulation. Guys, what do you mean by encapsulation? Guys, I want everyone give me a response. Why you're not opening your mic? Because you are not more people, you are less people, so you can interact with each other easily. guys. Okay.
Something like a protection,
Yeah.
encapsulation in the sense something like covering up or protection.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm so right to the
Yeah,
part.
yeah, you're right. What about others? Only Rajesh is giving a response, and normally he was only opening a mic. Your guys is like in the number you are less, so you can interact in easy way. Guys, only one answer is there, packing the method and the data member into a single unit. What about Dipti? What about you rest of you guys? Okay, let me explain this one. Let's take one example of medicine. In the medicine, you have one capsule. In capsule, they are like covered with the layer, and then the capsule, the drugs and the amount of which you say that yeah, the amount of drugs is there, which help you to heal your body in another things. So you are covering the whole data, and after that, didn't get react within your body with other parts. They have dissolved easily dissolved in water. So the collection and wrapping of things from the outermost word, you have a collection of 50,000 words in one, and you are using the criteria of a single word from that 50,000 words. That's called data encapsulation. You are wrapping the data and use it with the one thing. Same thing's gonna come into the function. Okay, in function also you have many features in one function in one body, and you are calling by the object. Over here come the process of object. So why we are choosing this feature? This exactly gives you answer with this little bit example. Like there are there is only one function in which there are many functionality with keywords, and you are calling that functionality by calling the name of that. Actually, Keshav, I already told you the package and the modules things. So how you import the package, how you import the modules, like that. In importing some modules, you are importing the name of that function, and you call the whole keywords and with functionality by calling with their object. That means data encapsulation is using the object. That's why it is a feature of object oriented. Normally we say that data encapsulation is a thing which wraps or which holds the whole data in one and provides the similar data and similarity and things by calling by only a single object or multi objects. Have you got this one, guys? Or shall I give you one more example?
Amit, let me give an example. Okay, how many of you have watched Troy? The movie Troy, where the Trojan horse is gifted to the Romans. Has anybody watched that movie? Or has anybody heard of Troy?
Okay, Keshav, I think that Trojan
Yeah,
horse is an example of data abstraction. Hello. Keshav, I think this is an example of data abstraction. Hiding the background data and directly useful in the way you want. Okay. Okay, so in that movie, basically what the other parties and other countries do, there's a one wall in which the that armies not go inside at that place. So they have gifted one toy which we say that Trojan horse. They have an image of horse, in which their soldiers are inside the whole body of horse, and they're gifted to the that kingdom, and when the king that they're giving that this thing to the kingdom, the that the soldier is not visible to other country members, other things.
So like they had actually attacked the plan. They gifted the horse so that as a token of peace. Okay, but actually what happened was inside that horse there were many soldiers. So during the night all the soldiers attacked. So I was just giving the example so that you get to know what data encapsulation is. That is, it is wrapping up of the whole data. That is, over here we are talking about the soldiers as a data and wrapping up inside the horse. So that was the basic example I wanted to give you about data encapsulation. So I think it didn't go well because I don't think everybody knows about the Troy or Trojan horse incident. So that's what I was trying to say.
Is it something like data hiding?
No, data hiding is data abstraction, na? Actually, in data abstraction, what we are doing, we are just telling the client or the user that what is happening. We are not telling the backend. Like that is, let's say if you're driving a car, if you buy a car, so you just drive the car. Okay, you don't go get inside the engine to see how the engine is working, or does the company show you like this is how the engine is working? It
No.
just says that it's a car. It can move forward. It can go right. It can go left. You can travel in it. That's it. So that is, it is only displaying the useful information. Na? It is not displaying you the complete process of how this is working. So exactly, OOPS concept also does that. It just gives you the output. It does not focuses on the process. It just gives you the output.
So you mean to say the something like the inherited library functions which is being used,
Yeah.
they are all also been something like the same concept. Like we
Yeah.
don't know how this print function works. What is the exact
Exactly.
script it has been written in it, but
Just
we are
it
just
gives a
using it.
printing. Yeah, it just gives us print.
So this is the same concept of encapsulation actually.
No. Encapsulation is different. Encapsulation is data binding. Okay.
Okay.
See.
Okay, Keshav, let me explain this one.
Okay.
Actually, Keshav was giving one example of horse over there. I think you're gonna confuse with data abstraction and data encapsulation. I am right, Rajesh?
Yep.
Okay. So when the horse is gonna like they are giving the toy, the same time the movement of the horse and other things is come under the data abstraction because they didn't know about that what's the mechanism going using in the body of that horse.
Okay.
But when the gift is accepted by the king, and he was like that soldier is gonna extract from that whole horse body, that the movement is coming over there. The whole data, the whole soldier is wrapping in the single horse.
Yeah.
Okay, so that time you say that the data encapsulation is also going happen. Now
Okay.
the
So data abstraction is something like which is working on a hidden point. Actually, the output is going to be seen of.
yeah
That is data abstraction.
yeah
Data encapsulation is something like given data is into a covered option, but it will be working into the program wherever it is needed.
yeah you can use and you can see also that like there are many function in there's normally we have one file in the C we have import iostream.h or we have include stdio.h. That means standard input output. The every function in the body input and output function which you are using, which you are using, the same things come under data encapsulation, but the process which that keyword is using, you didn't know how they are using, how they are performing, that's come under data abstraction.
Good. I understood it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so come to the point of inheritancy. Guys, can anyone tell me what is your inheritancy? Because you didn't, I think you know about that word in bio, basically in bio.
Genetic order, it inheritance from the parent class to child class.
Yep.
In our daily language, genetic is the example.
Yeah. Nice one. What about others, guys? You can try also. Cache give more interaction and get more out data and output. Auditory things from the parent. That's also true, but this I think that's not adopting. They are normally forcefully given by the parent. That's the thing. Like yeah, in the general way is adopting, but let's come to the point of view. If Keshav is giving the 100 rupees to anyone, okay, he was a child class for the Keshav. So at the same time, if that person is say that I didn't want this 100 rupees, okay, but the computer and program say that you will take 100 rupees. You have no option. You have option to use this one or replace this one. You can convert this 100 rupees to 1000, or you can put it the same. So in the let me give you examples. Let's take let's take one class, the parent class, and you have a function in the parent class to display some data. In the displaying data, you have write hello Amit. But in the child class, what okay, Keshav, we can write in the class. Okay, in the child class, what you are dealing with that? What you are dealing with that? Like in the first class, you have display one data hello Amit, and in the child of that class is didn't want to display something and directly use the property of their parent class and printed function. Yeah, they can call the function, but the output is also same for the parent as the child, because child is not replace this thing. They have to suppose use this thing, and they have the same data which is given by the parent. They didn't restrict the data. Yeah, they can replace the data, but they didn't restrict the data. That basically means about the inheritance. You are taking the data from your own class and using over here. Okay, and this one Keshav has made the module. Yeah, Keshav has basically made a one class module. Yeah, this is module one class over which you have a function Amit, and you are trying to implement this thing into another module. That means they have forcefully to if they can use, they have a chance they can use or not, but the feature is already there with their parents. They are not adopting, they directly forcefully restricted over there. Okay, so yeah, Keshav can change this one by giving, yeah, over here also Keshav can pass the value. If Keshav pass the value, Keshav, can you pass the string? No, Keshav, can you pass? Yeah, pass the data, print this. Okay, so when he was when he was running the code, it will display you the data according to which you want to change. Yeah, so now what this function is doing over here, they are forcefully extending the data. Okay, now he was passing the data, the child is passing the data to parent one, the parent function, and it will work according to the parent the child function. But when you are using this function in the parent, they didn't replace the data. The parent itself have their own data. 100, parent has 100 rupees, that means parent has 100 rupees. But if child converted that 100 rupees to 1000 rupees, 1000 rupees for only for child, not for the parent. Have you got this one, guys? In general sense, but I know what about this is complete property of or amount of money. Money left to someone in whaling like the agency. Okay, that is the quantity of parents that okay. Only one of okay, only got this one, I think. Bhargavi. What about Rajesh? What about Chagati? What about the guys? Okay, Rajesh got it. Got you guys. Then Dipti, Jagrati, Manish, Mohammed, Priyanshi, and other guys. Are you there? Yeah, you understood. Okay. So, Kashyap, can you open the paint, or that MS Word? Let me explain the feature that yeah. So basically inheritance is about a 4-5 type of inheritance over here. First one is single on single. That means one parent, one child. The whole function is given to the whole property given by the parent or single parent to the single child. That means single on single. Second ones come under single to multi. That means multiple. That's the same function is that same means giving the multiple. And multi means when one parent class giving the data to another child class, and another child class gives the same data as well, their own data to another child class. That's called multi. And the multiple means when one parent giving the data to two childs. Another come to the point of view. A fourth one is hierarchical. Hierarchical means when two parents give the data to only a single child. I think I think this is normally hybrid. Hybrid means mix up of multiple as well as hierarchical. So can you open Keshav, can you open the documentation of this one? Okay. So we will give let's give them a good example as well as the diagram for that. Okay. So normally in inheritance, yeah, in inheritance you have, I have already told you 5-1. So first one is there. First one is single on single. When the one A is a parent class and B is a child class, and he was giving the data, everything by the A is giving to the B. This is called single inheritance. Let's remove this. Can you change the slide? Yeah. In this multiple means here you have a two parent class. A is a parent, A is a father, B is a mother, and the whole data is given to the one child. Come to the multi. Okay, this is a multi-level. That means there is first is a grandfather, second is a father, and third is a child. The whole property of a grandfather is gotten by the child, and the father only got the property of their own father, A, the parent. But C is getting the property of B as well as A also. Can I change this equation? Not change it, again change it. Okay, so is it displaying image or not? Okay, come outside please from there. So let's made over here this same thing. Yeah, when you have two parents and you have only one child, that's sorry, when you have one parent and you have two child, one parent. Can you share the notes on this one? Yeah, you will get this one. Actually, I have sent you the whole notes over there. Also, you got the whole thing. Over here, A is your parent, B is your child, and C is your also child. So when there is a single parent and which gives the details to the two children, that inheritance is called hierarchical inheritance. And when it's come to hybrid is a combination of multiple as well as hierarchical. That means first of all you have one parent and then you will giving the data to your two child, and then that two child gives the data to only single one. Okay. So let's give you one diagram example. Keshav, yeah. Made only single one, Keshav, in the D. Yeah, Keshav, no. Keshav, normally, can you replace this D long behind this one? Yeah. Can you drag the block D in like lower of C and B? Yeah. In between, yeah. This one. Right here, A is a parent class for C and B, and C and B is a like parent class for D. So this is a hybrid one. where only single parent gives the property to the child, and the two child give the single property to the another child. Okay, so this hybrid one, hierarchical I have explained you, multiple also explain you, single already explain you, and the multi-level is also you are got it. If anyone any like difficulty with this one, we can proceed like again, or we can proceed forward if you got everything. Kishan, I am audible, no?
Yes, Amit.
Okay, so guys, have you got this one? Types of redundancy. Priti, Bhargavi, Jagriti, Manish, Rajesh, Ajit. Have you got or not? Got it. Okay. Okay, got it. We will provide you notes. Not a big deal. Yes, we got. Okay. Guys, answer like this. Yeah, Jeet raised the hand. Yeah, Jeet, you can ask if you are raising your hand. Actually, I have got in your screen, Keshav. Okay, you got it. Yeah, Keshav. So let's move in polymorphism. What do you mean polymorphism? Guys, can anyone explain me the polymorphism mean? The word mean like normally? I want everyone give answer. Yeah, Bhargavi.
Multiple forms.
Okay, multiple forms. Nice one. You're close. Yeah, this is close enough, but we want more answers. What about other guys? Guys, I want your answer not in a chat. I want you to unmute yourself and then tell me. Yeah, if you have a difficulty with NAT and other things, you can say. But if you didn't have, you will answer to unmute yourself first and then tell me. Guys, more interaction, more output, more result. One input and more output. Okay, it's like one input we are providing and more output is there. I didn't get it more output. Hello, Keshav.
Yes, Amit. Your voice is clear.
Nothing clear, no? Okay. I didn't want your answer in the chat box. I want your answer to unmute yourself first and then tell me if you have no problem. If you have no problem facing with the net internet. Guys, you are not like a child. You can answer in the to unmute yourself because you are less number of students, not a more number of students. They didn't make chaos over there. Okay, Manish is right. One input and more output. Jagati responds responding in a unique way for the same message. Okay, Dipti Pandey doing one task in a different way. Okay, we say that. Let me explain you. A different shape, a different body for one form. That's basically we said that polymorphism. Poly means different or morphism means shape. So this is the main thing. You have a different type of function but doing the same task. You have different type of things but doing a same and giving a same message. I think you got this one. So we have 4 type of features over here to define the OOPS concept. And the 5th one, which is not defining the feature point of view, that's called object, creation of object. in the any language, if you're using the object, you're creating the object, that means that this thing also falls in object oriented. If the four features is defined by the any language, you can say that this is partially object oriented based programming. But if you create it with the object, if you're dealing with the object, that means you are dealing with the whole thing with the four features, and you are giving the full pure OOPS concept based languages. Okay, why I'm telling this that half partially, because you are not giving, you are not getting one features which is creating an object. The fifth one, which is not defined in any language, any book, but yeah, they are basically use this type of criteria. So guys, if I am asking the Python is object oriented programming or not, so what you will tell? Guys, I think if you study this whole event in our this whole workshop with a serious genuine way, you will give a correct answer. Yes, it is
It's an OOPS
okay.
language, of course.
What, Rajesh?
No, of course, it's an OOPS language, like object-oriented programming, as you have
Okay.
covered all this. Yeah.
Object. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. Let Keshav wait a few minutes, and then I will answer this one. But right now we will check the output. Rajesh say yes, Manish say yes, Jagti say yes, Dipti say yes. Four of them saying yes. Guys, can anyone, any of four of you can unmute yourself one by one and tell me why you are saying that this is object-oriented programming language?
As you told us, the four different options which has been inherited in this Python language, we call this as object-oriented programming. The very first thing is like we can just inherit one program or one model from the whole class, so that we call it as object-oriented.
Okay.
And all this covered things like data abstraction, data encapsulation. Would you need me to explain any of this now?
No, no, no. Okay, what about others? Bhargavi, Jagati. Guys, unmute yourself, boost up us with your like normal voice, because if you are and try, we also get hear your voice, and then we will discuss with you, and we will get happy because you are giving a response like not like in the chat, but you're only messaging, because it will take time also. But if you unmute yourself and directly say what you are explaining, that's a little bit good. Okay, let me call the name, and then he or she will unmute themselves. Okay, so come to point. Ajit, are you there? Ajit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you tell me whether OOPS Python is fully OOPS or not? Ajit? Okay, you don't know, I think. Bhargavi?
Not full. I'm thinking not fully OOPS concepts.
Okay, but why?
In OOPS,
Okay, you're a little bit confused. Yeah, we will explain this one. Okay. Dipti? Hey, Bhargavi, thanks. Dipti? Dipti out there? Dipti. Okay. She was there, but I didn't know. Jagriti. Keshav, am I audible or not? Am I audible?
Yes, Amit.
So why they are not giving response? Okay. Okay, let me explain you guys. I think you are not want to interact. That's a different thing. So, Keshav, can you discuss this thing? Whether
We can write a code in Python without classes also. That is,
yeah,
that's not correct.
you need we will write over here for the classes.
Okay.
Okay. So, Keshav, can we discuss this one? I think this is a normal thing, and we will tell. Okay, so I think only Bhargavi is correct over here. Python is normally not a full object-oriented programming language. They are partially. Why? There are many reasons. Okay, let's take one by one example. Keshav, can you explain one point? Why you are thinking? I think you are also thinking that Python is not a OOPS concept, fully OOPS concept.
Amit, actually, there is some sound in the background right now. I cannot.
Okay.
Can you
So yeah, so guys, first of all, I want one person unmute yourself. Those who are say Python is fully object-oriented programming.
I think Python is fully object-oriented programming.
Okay, we are thinking that. So let's take one example. In the Python itself, I have said that polymorphism. Polymorphism, what do you mean polymorphism? I already told you. Different things having different shapes. Different shapes for one. Okay, for one thing, different you have different shape. Think about that. If you are using the dynamic one, is it possible you have one message and you will be use the same message and change the shape and structure, and then it will show you the same output? Is it possible or not? In dynamic, not static. If you have a is equal to 5, you are performing some operation. Did you think it will give you same output? A also printing the input value, and after operation is also printing an input value. Why it not showing the output? Okay, Chef, can you make two functions having same variable? Sorry, having same displayed thing. Yeah, made two function. One is with parameter and second is without parameter, and print the data in first one with hello world and print the other one with the passing the variable. Guys, see this one. This is polymorphism. You have two functions with different body but giving you a display only one thing, hello world. Okay, Keshav, call the both of the function, but yeah, in the first function you will pass the value hello world, the same thing, the same message, because the polymorphism means normally say that when you are dealing with the different shape but giving the same output, that's mean a polymorphism. Yeah, right now we have doing same. In the function one, we are doing what? In the function one, we have a different body. We are passing a parameter, but in function two, we didn't have any parameter. Okay, we didn't have any parameter, but they are giving you output as a hello world. They are giving you the same message as Jagati said that in previous one. Okay, so this is a hello word. Okay, remove this one, Keshav, first. Call the first function, normally first function. With the same name, Keshav, you are not giving the same name. Giving the function name is same. Same one having different structure. Yeah. Right now run this code, Keshav. Okay, displaying you error. Why displaying you error? They have said that function 1 take 0 position argument, but they have 1 position. Is it? Let's go. Let's jump this one. Okay, in dynamic one, I know actually we have told you that it will proceed the last statement. It didn't proceed with the first statement. The last statement is function 1 without passing any argument. So they didn't call the function 1 without taking argument because you have declared the function in which you have defined first you have one variable. They have some parameter passing data, but they didn't get the data. They directly call the function 1 without argument. Because in 8th line, Keshav, mark that one 8th line. In this 8th line, they are calling the function, okay? So it didn't display the value of that defined 4th line number of function. Why? Because they are searching the function because from the starting, and the starting there is a function 1 also defined in number 1 line with the parameter, with the argument, but in this one they didn't get the argument. They get the name, but they didn't get the argument in dynamic one. So it will show you error because you didn't pass the good quantity of function over there. Over here the polymorphism is gonna fail. I think have you got this one, guys? But if Keshav you can replace the 7th line with 8th line, it will give you output. Okay. Let's come again. Down one. Yeah, they are passing that again. They are passing the there's a no argument, but in this one 0 position argument, but didn't pass one. Okay, yeah, hello word is there. The one function is calling by the body, not the another one, because another one didn't get the value. Now it will run the code with the same line. Have you got this one, guys? Jagriti, you say that this is fully object oriented, but right now I think Parthan is not giving you that whole concept. Actually, in overloading, we have two functions, overloading and overriding. Python gives you overriding property, but didn't give you overloading property. Overloading means same name as same function, and again you're calling this one. It will give you error. I think you, Dipti and Rajesh and other guys also got the whole thing. Why we are saying that the polymorphism is not working in Python, and why Python is not fully object-oriented programming. We have more other things we can explain you. Like let's take one example. I have told you the fifth point, object. For the print and other variables, you didn't made any object in a file. You directly use the print function as a keyword. Why so? Because if you are dealing with any function which inbuilt, you first of all create the whole body of an object of that that thing, but you didn't made. This quantity also decreased by the object oriented, so it will also fall under object oriented programming. Let's jump to another point. Another point is that the data encapsulation is also not defined in Python. That the wrapping of data in one, that may be giving you collide. You cannot bind the data in one because somewhere the functionality also gonna same. Let's take one example. You have a parent class, you have a child class. There is one function which is binding in the first child parent class, but didn't see by the child class. So at the same time, it show you error also, because you are overriding the function which didn't have in the parent class. Hello, guys. Are you getting this one?
Yes.
What about others? Rajesh, are you getting? Manish, Dipti, and Bhargavi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ajit. Okay. So this is the concept. Python is not for object-oriented programming. I think Keshav, let's end up this session because we have completed our workshop session. We will discuss with the class. We understand the class. So we complete this and the function of that list and set and dictionary in the another class. Guys, if you have any question and any problem, you can ask right now. Or any reviews you want to like improving other things, you can ask. To improve something, you can say. Proceed with this also. Rajesh, are you there? Rajesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, any feedback? Any suggestion?
No. I think so that I have to just check it out with the notes and other things. That's what.
Okay.
So far, with the instructions that has been given, it's good to go. No, but it will be good if we just go through the notes bit more so that.
Actually, we have uploaded that notes and everything is gonna over there, I think.
Let me go with that. Actually, let me check it out.
Okay. Have you got
But
the
so
whole
far, it is
note?
clear. Yeah, I
Yeah.
already downloaded it.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, Keshav, let's end up this one. Guys, you have any query, you can ask right now.
See that you have. Please upload the yesterday's session and today's session. Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guys, if you have any query, you can ask.